So I am excited, y'all, because it is National Minority Health Month, and I have to give these sisters a proper introduction. We can't introduce them any kind of way. We don't make you come in and sit on the plastic couch like grandma used to. We make you feel welcome. So first, y'all see her in the picture. Her arms are folded seriously, y'all. Ariel Lee, she is the owner and director of Optimize Health LLC. She is a registered nurse. She's going to give us all her credentials. Let's clap it up for Ariel. How are you, Ariel?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Dunn, for having me on your show.
Look, we almost didn't have enough room on the flyer for all the credentials. But that's all right. Y'all gonna tell us what that means. They're legitimate. They're legitimate. Shauna's laughing. Got to introduce Shona next. This sister, I met her at the 100 Black Men of America event. Shona Baylor, darling. She is the owner and CEO of JDL Ventures, LLC, Ivy Smoothie Hydration and Wellness, and Esteem Concierge Nursing. Welcome to the Dr. Dunn Radio Show, Shona Baylor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure being here with you as well, Ms. Lee.
I tell you two sisters are, because are y'all busy this month?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm very busy. I actually just left an event this past Saturday with sorority sisters with Minority Health Wellness, talking about Black mental health. So, which is very important. It's set aside from just the general mental health, because we have our own issues, systemically and everything else that we deal with. So I'm busy with that, speaking engagements, partnering with other organizations. So yes, this is a great month, but I'm definitely excited about National Minority Health Month.
Yes.
And the theme of this month is better health through better understanding. And I love this year's theme because in order to help minorities, be that African Americans, Asian, Pacific Islanders, Hispanics, we have to understand their culture, our culture, as providers, as well as other providers. So I'm excited.
That's very true. Shona, you smoothie queen, you've been busy?
Very, very busy. And yes, Minority Health Month is very important. It's really about awareness. And once we start talking to our communities on the front lines, whether it be in churches, in schools, just creating a new culture of understanding and making the people aware of what are these diseases and the healthcare disparities that plague our communities. And we can take control with the knowledge.
I like that because we can take control, you guys. We just have to. And health is wealth. That's what we call the show because people are dying just earlier. It just, grandma's living because if you notice on Facebook, you guys, grandma's living, celebrating 102, and cousin is dying at 40. Mm-hmm. So first, let's start with you, Ariel, and then you, Shona. Let's go into your credentials, your experience, all those credentials behind your name in the flyer. Tell us your experience, you guys, and about the businesses you own. You first, Ariel, and then you, Shona.
Oh, absolutely. So again, I'm Ariel Lee. I'm a board certified family nurse practitioner. I have been a nurse about, I would say 17 years now. Okay. And most of that, I've been a family nurse practitioner. Okay. And I've been a primary care doctor or provider for Baylor College of Medicine for about 5 years, which I loved. Oh, yeah. Because I did deal with a lot of ethnic communities then, a lot of African Americans, Hispanics with that population off MLK in Houston. Okay. So yes, I worked also in the medical center with Methodist Hospital Systems, floated through the psychiatry, cardiovascular, where I have received a wealth of knowledge and experience with patients of all demographics. Okay. I also, my credentials mean board certified family nurse practitioner, adult practice, registered nurse, BSN, MSN, all those fun things. Yeah. But basically, I just want to help people. And that's what I came out to do, especially African-American people. I remember a young girl, one of the questions that I was reading as far as what brought me into nursing. I remember as a young girl going to work with my grandmother, who actually at that time, she sat with the mayor's or governor's mother in Louisiana. Yeah. And she would sit with her overnight. And this lady, she was bedbound, bedridden, but her family did have the financial means to have a provider around the clock, cleaning her, bathing her. And I just fell in love with it. She was elderly. And so from that moment on, I said, hey, I can do this. I can help people with their health. So since a young girl, I always wanted to help people, no matter what color or ethnicity, with their health.
Yes.
Because as we see, health is wealth. If you don't feel good, if you can't think well, if you
Ooh.
can't move mobility-wise, stomach issues, heart issues, you cannot be your best self.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm about, being your best self and bringing out your best purpose in life that God has provided for you to do. So that's where I come into place.
I love that. And we have to, I mean, we have a purpose. We have to take care of ourselves. Shona, you talk about your credentials, sister, and what got you into this profession?
Well, yes, I've been in healthcare for over 15 years now. I originally started my healthcare career was in the Navy. I was a corpsman.
Yes, you were, weren't you? Yeah.
I was a corpsman. I was active duty in the Navy, and I did that for 6 years. And once I transitioned out of the Navy, completed honorably serving my country, I transitioned into civilian healthcare, and I went from CNA to phlebotomist to LPN to VSN, and now in 2 more weeks I'll be graduating with my master's in nursing for.
Oh, let's clap that up.
Yay!
Woo! Or should I say?
Yes.
Because I will be going back into the military as well.
Really?
Yes.
Amen.
Wonderful. I really
Wonderful.
love my veteran community, and I want to give back and be able to attribute the skills that I've learned as far as healthcare, because they are a minority group as well.
Yeah. Ladies,
that's fantastic.
I think, and both of you said it, it's a purpose behind what you're doing, right? So do you think of it as a career or a calling?
I would say a calling for me.
Okay.
I would definitely say a calling. If people always say, if you're willing to work for it, you can do it for free. When I tell you I would do it for free, you guys.
I believe it.
But I am happy for those coins that come in with all the credentials.
Come on, hello. Let's not be foolish.
So I'm like, no, pay me. But yeah, I would do it for free, sincerely. I love it, love it, love it. I had a patient yesterday, 91-year-old Caucasian lady, the sweetest. And I just like, oh my God, just a wealth of knowledge. So I would do this for free, health information, to strangers, whoever needs it, because we need that. And your Bible says your gift will make room for you. So whatever your gift is, Dr. Dunn, Shona, your gift, whatever you're doing, you got to give that to the world. And that's when we help each other as a whole community.
We do. We do. And Shona, career or a calling? Because you were doing them smoothie IVs, hydration, right?
Correct.
For the elderly. And I noticed, are most of your patients the elderly for you guys, or just mixed?
It's really mixed. As far as that service line is concerned, it's optimizing health, right? So the pandemic brought about, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, it brought about a lot of different changes that people wanted to take a different approach to health and well-being, right?
Yes.
So back to vitamins and learning more about how they can optimize that. But that part is just the community outreach, which we really enjoy doing. It's not about the money at all. Just like provider Lee said, I would do this for free. And I was as a child, because being from Louisiana, from a very large family, we hold certain traditions very close. And we on. And so the youngest female child of the family is going to take care of the elderly and the aging and the ill of females and male. So I did that all my life. My great grandmother, my aunts, and just watched them, because they didn't have the knowledge and they didn't go to doctors. They didn't trust. And I know we'll talk about that a little bit more as part of that cultural upbringing. The tradition, some of those things hurt us. And so things would get way out of hand if they would have just got the diabetes under control or got that prostate checked. And I can go on and on. But that is my calling. It's the reason why I do what I do. It's because of my family. And I've always been a nurturer. And I can't do anything else. I can't see myself doing anything else.
I want to start with you, Ariel, with this question. And then you, Shona. I can only imagine, and we have seen medical professionals, doctors lost their license. Someone's life is in your hands. The right medication, I have a friend, and I'm not going to go into detail, over-medicated. Doctors are human as well, but when mistakes happen, right? And we have seen that. So talk about because you have people's lives in your hands. patients.
Yeah.
So you guys have to stay at your best, not only education, but if you're tired and you right there, I mean, we've seen where doctors have. So talk about how you, because we're going into Mental Health Awareness Month, right? I mean, how do you guys stay being so busy, making sure, because people need to know that these are trusted medical professionals we have on this show. How do you guys keep yourself in a strong mental space to take care of those patients?
That's a great question, Dr. Dunn. I'm so glad that you asked that because we are human as well. So we have to have, for me personally, it's about keeping that balance. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I do for self-care every day, at least 4 to 5 days a week, I go for my little nature walk. Not a slow jog, not a run, because I'm like, no, I'm good. I love walking for about 2 or 3 miles every day. I'm listening to my praise and worship. I'm praying over the day, my patients and people that I'll serve today.
That's good.
I'm having to relax myself. So I have a routine. It's good to have a routine. And it's also good to set boundaries as well.
Yeah.
With family members, friends, your colleagues, your patients, setting boundaries is important. Yeah. And also just staying up to date, with information. Yeah. I have to be up to date on the latest healthcare news, what medications or I have to diagnose and prescribe medications. So I was definitely initially fearful my first couple of years as a nurse practitioner. I'm like, look, what if I give the wrong medication? Yeah. But having great mentors is important. Really, I'm always in workshops, always trying to learn, always trying to grow, and making sure that I'm utilizing the most updated technology and information to make sure that I'm safely prescribing and diagnosing and treating my patients that I care for. Because I treat them just like they're my own family members. So I want to make sure they have the right medication, the right treatment.
That's good. That's good. That's good, because that's a question they're fearful of the doctor. Shona, mm-hmm. What is your self-care so you can take care of your patients?
And that's right. That is very important that we first recognize and self-reflect. If mm-hmm. I'm in a bad space, no matter what job I have, that's going to reflect. I was working at Burger King, which I've done.
Yeah.
And I was having a bad day. That's going to show when I'm dealing with customers. So it's even more important when I'm dealing with a patient who is not at their best, or they may be at their very last breath and the family cannot cope. I have to be able to be self-serving and give to them the best of me. And so to do that, like she said, try to leave. You have to find that rest, one, and finding something that centers me, that grounds me, that lets me know that there's a higher power and I'm not in control of everything.
That's right.
You learn to let some things go, because like you, Dr. Don, I do kind of have that perfectionist, and then I just kind of keep going crazy. But you have to let some things go and let it be, and do the best you can with what you can.
Now let me tell you.
And I also want to add, I'm sorry to cut you off. I pray a lot. I pray a whole lot. Like I understand that, like provider Shona just mentioned, I'm not in control. I understand that it's a higher being that's working in and through me to do what I do. So what you see, all this greatness and credentials, all that, this is God working through me. Yeah, and so when I put that into place, and God is not me, work through me as a vessel, and I'm human as well. Yeah. Then I release that power to him. And that kind of helps take the load off of myself. It's less stress for me, saying, okay, I don't have to do all this by myself. God is with me. He's helping me. Because I want to do my best, and he knows that. And so the Holy Spirit helps you, he really does. Yeah.
I a perfectionist, God is like, you're going to have to, I'm going to teach you. Now, let me tell y'all, I finally, and I'm going to clap it up for myself. I got an assistant. I now have an assistant. I cannot do everything myself, and I'm trusting her. I trust her, and I even told her, I said, I'm giving you more responsibility next week. God said it's time. You got to start trusting. Yeah. And you can't, because, finding someone who's competent and common sense is not, but God, I said, you're going to bring me the help. So that helps as well. So that's, sometimes I have to be reminded, but ladies, you can feel the pressure in your chest. Yeah. It's like, God is like, let it go. He's got it. I just have to say that for anybody. We've got to start trusting. Now, let's talk about holistic. What does the holistic approach mean when it comes to treatment? You, Ariel, and then you, Shona.
Holistic approach means, and I love this. This is what my business runs off, optimize health, mind, body, soul, spirit. I can't just address the physical aspect. Okay, you have high blood pressure, you're obese. what's that mental doing? Like, what brought you to this point mentally? You know, where is your thought process? What are your thought patterns? So we have to treat the whole person holistically, mind, body, soul, and spirit. That could be medication, you know, for your mood. That could be counseling, therapy. That could be physical therapy, getting that body moving. So overall, that could even be prayer, you know. So that's the holistic approach that I believe in. And not necessarily medication. Sometimes it can be maybe herbs, maybe vitamins. I know CBD is a big thing. That's what I want to talk to you about, Dr. Dunn.
Talk about it. That's Some people on here, I mean, look, we're a Christian platform, but we don't know what. Hey, for it was a time in my life,
For us, type A women who always got to be like bam, 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 and you're stressed out, CBD is a great natural approach to relaxation.
Okay.
It helps calm you. It doesn't have the THC in it, so you know, you're getting less than that. So that's a great way to relax and to allow it to be more holistic in your approach to life and to tasks that we have to face.
Okay. Now, she's not talking about the stuff Pookie sells under the bridge.
Correct.
Okay? She's talking. So some of y'all thinking it's up. That's not what she's talking about.
She's talking about the health food stores, the natural CBD oils. They have.
Hey.
Dr. Dunn not cousin Pookie. No.
Me, Dr. Dunn is not telling y'all to go get high in these streets.
No, we're not. Not.
Come on now. And that's good because there are, I mean, and then cancer, many people, right? So
correct. Yes.
I like that because some people, what is holistic? Is it something, again, fearful and you're not educated?
Correct. Right. It's candles, it's aromatherapy, it's water, it's using those senses, it's all of that. It's yoga, it's a holistic approach to the whole person. We're whole people. Yeah. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. So you have to actually treat that accordingly.
Yes. That's good. Shona, what's your approach? Holistic approach to treating patients.
I absolutely I embody that whole concept of providing holistic care. And that's kind of what the foundation of nursing is versus what medicine does, right? So the nurse is going to address that whole patient. We're not just going to deal, again, like if the family member is on their last breath, you know, that patient is on the last breath. You have to address the whole family and explain to them what they're seeing, what's going on.
My goodness,
Or if they don't have Maslow's hierarchy of needs are not met, I can't expect them to check their sugar.
Yeah.
They don't have life. They don't have power. So we have to address it all. So we're all of those things as nurses. We're the social worker, the case manager, we're the dietitian, and no disrespect to all those other professions because we work in tangent and we need desperately. I mean, we could never do this alone in a silo. We need all those disciplinary approaches to actually help a mass body of people who are suffering and don't have what they need. So holistic is everything.
And it's emotional. You have a relative who's they're coming to you for everything, and you know, asking you about insurance is like, I don't have anything. Right, Ariel?
Yeah.
Correct. And provider Shona, you can agree. You know, people call the text and people taking pictures of pills. I'm like, what should I take? I'm like, who is this? It's your cousin. It's your cousin Shay Shay. I'm like, girl, I haven't seen you forever. What are you taking? Who's your primary care doctor? Because I'm not that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people trust you, and I want to say as a nurse, that's a blessing that we have. People trust us.
Yes.
And so that's a whole level of responsibility. That's a whole level for me. Like, okay, I got to make sure I'm on it as far as what I'm advising people to do because they trust us. They're coming to us. They're, you know, family members, friends, stranger with our credentials saying, hey, what should we do? So we have to treat them. And I also want to add that we're also counselors. I have cried with many people, patients who are dying, people who have died at the bedside, be that my family, friends, loved ones, strangers. And that's what we're there to do. We're all of that. So we're here to help our patients to do that too.
Yeah. And that's why I'm glad you all talked about the self-care because here you are dealing with that. And that's an emotional job. It's not just, okay, we're doing pills. And then also let's talk about integrity. I just thought of this.
Yeah.
Ariel, I may know Ariel. Hey girl, can you write me a prescription real quick? No, we're not going to play that game.
Correct.
Shona, can you go ahead and just write me No. Have you ever had anybody, you first, Shona, and then you, Ariel, who's like, girl, just write me a prescription. I am tired. What do you say to that? How do you deal with that?
First, my integrity is going to be first and foremost before the pleasures or the comfort of anyone else.
Have they asked you that, though? Have you ever had
but I know it's coming. And I already have my disclaimer that I'm going to gently remind them,
Yeah.
pay for any of my education, you haven't walked this walk. And I'm not
Mm,
doing it. It has nothing to do with the monetary gain. It's about who I am myself
Mhm.
internally and why
yeah.
do I risk that.
Yeah.
And I can guide you a different way to get you what you need. But I
Mm,
don't need to risk my integrity and everything that I've worked for. And
yeah.
the profession, the
Yeah.
nursing profession itself, we are one of the most trusted, and
Correct.
I hate to hear the horror stories. We're like, ugh, but again, we are human, but when
Yeah.
that balance of self, checking ourselves first, making sure we're in the right place to provide care, then these things happen. Because we're
Yeah.
first. But
Yeah.
that question that I already know is coming. I'm sure Provider Lee gets it a lot. And you just have to stand your ground and have those boundaries. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Ariel, have you ever been, girl, just write me a prescription because I
You
am
know I have, especially
soror,
arthritis.
soror. These AK meetings are just straight, girl, just give me some pink and green pills. And
No, I have not. I have to say I have not. I've never heard that from my illustrious Alpha Kappa Alpha
of
sorority.
course they wouldn't. Of course they would not.
My divine nine sister, my Delta.
Yes, and deltas, I know y'all wouldn't do that either.
Yes. So early on, definitely, I got a lot of. Can you write me a prescription for Norco? Or can you
Oh
give me some
wow.
Percocet? Oh yeah. My nerve is bad. Can you give me a little Ativan? Really, or a little Xanax? And at first, it was very hard for me to kind of like say no to people,
Yeah.
knowing that I was going to say no eventually. I just had to word it a certain way. But now it's to the point where I'm like 10 plus years as a nurse practitioner. People don't even come to me like that anymore. They really don't. I set boundaries, and
Absolutely.
my license, my profession. I spent like all my 20s in college and learning and growing.
Goodness.
So I would definitely not put my livelihood and my family on the line for a prescription for anyone else. And I also want to even mention pain clinics.
Yes.
As a new nurse practitioner, I got a lot of calls and offers from recruiters saying, "Come here, offering a lot of money at these little puppy meal pain meals here."
Oh wow.
And my great mentors is like, "No, steer clear from that. Steer clear." And I'm so glad that I did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, because we've seen where celebrity doctors, celebrity pays them just be, and and we've seen what has happened. You will be exposed.
You
The
will. And
money's not
it's
worth
not
it.
worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth like putting your patient at risk, first of all, for a potential overdose. It's not worth your license. And also the shame and humility that you'll cause your family. So
My
it's not worth
goodness.
it. It's not
And you
worth
know
it.
what I think about Black doctors, like how people fought for you guys to
Yeah.
go to medical school, for us to go to college, period, right? But for you to work to be a doctor, nurse practitioner, somebody fought, died. They didn't want Black people in med. Don't risk it.
Yeah.
And if anything, the legacy that was left, but integrity, absolutely. My goodness. Now, ladies, we have to get to the excuses. I want to start with you, Shona, and then you, Ariel. Why don't we? It's a choice. It's a decision.
It is.
What are the excuses you hear from patients why they cannot eat healthy, why they don't like to exercise? What are some of the biggest excuses you've heard?
There are so many, and I do put on my compassionate hat.
Absolutely.
Because I have my own. Oh, I'm just so
Yeah.
you're doing everything, but I absolutely get it. But you have to make a compromise. And so some of the excuses I get, the most famous one for my diabetics is oh well, I don't eat that much sugar. So we need to do some re-education about what glycemic index is and what the other things are you eating. Or some of my male patients don't like to take their blood pressure medicine because it affects their male parts.
Yeah.
Right. So there's another one. Well, it was too hot outside. I can't go run outside. I got bad knees. My arthritis said I can't run today. I'll go walking. It goes on and on and on. It's a lot. And a lot of it's financial as well.
Yeah.
Prescriptions are not covered, or they're saving and stockpiling and sharing their medications with their spouse. There's so many components that go to that. So the compassion has to be there and not throw up the veil of, oh, well, you just non-compliant. We gotta stop using that word and conscious bias, unconscious bias, when you say, oh, the patient's not compliant. Well, let's find out what's going on.
Let's go back to that though, Shona, and I want to hear from you on this, Ariel. Patients are sharing medication. That's where we are in this country. Healthcare is expensive.
It is. It
My
is.
goodness. And you have a husband and wife sharing one prescription. My goodness.
And I also want to mention that a lot of people don't know about the different services that are available out there. Like I said, I was a primary healthcare provider at Baylor College of Medicine that coincided with Harris Health System. So you have the gold card system in place.
Yes.
You have different low or no cost prescription plans available. You have all kind of coupons in place. And then a lot of insurance companies, be that Affordable Healthcare Act, Obamacare,
yes.
they have those things in place where if you cannot afford your medication, they will cover it at 100%, especially the generic medications. Yes. And so when I teach my patients or my facilities about this, a lot of people don't know. Yeah. So again, just understanding, educating people about, the risk and what we should be doing, what we should not be doing. And another thing I want to say, people share antibiotics. Isn't that common?
Wow.
We just share antibiotics. I'm like, first of all, you're trying to treat her stomach ache or something or throat infection with some medication you took for a urinary tract infection. You don't understand. So when you're doing that to your bodies, it's not going to help it. And then when you need that antibiotic for something else, it's not going to work. You're going to have resistance. So education.
Shona, I want to switch gears with this question. What do you think about people? We don't want to go to the doctor, but we're going to go to a website and they're going to diagnose me. This means, according to this website, that I just have this or that.
It's so often. I get it so many times, and I don't want to call out my immediate family members.
Do it. Call them out.
Because that's the first thing I ask them. Because we've had the debates about the COVID vaccine, and I don't want to get into political of this, but that's their first defense. Well, Google said, WorldStar, if you come to me with a reference source that does not have .gov behind it or a provider behind it, please don't. That it's not peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So don't give me anything from a .net.com or WorldStar or I've seen this on TikTok. That is not any sound advice. Please not listen to that. And
popmed.net said Ariel that.
Like, why would you do that?
People do it. People do it often.
Look, and these celebrities endorsing, good for them, but no thank you. And how do we know they really took it? Let's be honest.
Correct.
But come on. Yeah, what do you say to that? So, Shona, what do you say to them? And then you, Ariel.
I try to redirect them first.
Yeah,
give them creditable information. I like what the research says. Now, if they want to just listen, look at the pictures and listen to sound, and they're not really interested in reading, I understand that too. I'll break it down concisely as I can. If they want to receive it, they can or cannot. But I would strongly advise not to take that advice from whatever random source.
Yeah.
That's not valid. I just try to be very gentle in that because they'll hear a lot of different things, and that's kind of what creates these cycles.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. A lot of education, a lot of redirecting, a lot of just letting them know, like, how much, just gaining that trust with them as well. Because apparently they're coming to you because they do trust you, right?
That's right.
And so you show them the stats, you show them with your experience, my experience based off this ABCD. Research says ABCD, therefore this. And most of the time I'm able to kind of sway them in the correct direction.
Right.
Just a lot of compassion, a lot of education.
And I like that you all said compassion because people, we're not judging. But this conversation is for all of just to raise awareness. Go to Ariel, go to Shona. Some of these websites, people are getting paid for these things. And how do you even know it's credible? Correct. And then we've even seen some of these celebrity doctors endorsing things that they would have never endorsed 20 years ago, but with the right check.
Correct. And I also want to say a lot of things that you like supplements or medications you may get off the internet or someone has, you Google something that may not be the right fit for you. You may have certain conditions, predisposed health conditions, or where you cannot take that or kind of interact with your medication. So please don't take anything that you see off the internet, even in the store, the gas station, that has not been evaluated by your primary healthcare provider or the specialists that serve you. That can affect your kidneys, your liver, your thyroid level, your whole hormonal balance. So just always get that stuff cleared. I love it when my patients come to me and say, "Is it okay to take this?" I love it. I'm like, "Let me research."
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. I'll make sure I'll collaborate with a colleague. who may be in that area, but I'll make sure that you're safe. So I love it when my patients say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Can I take that? So those are good questions to ask. If
That's
you know
great.
you're diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, you have different thyroid or cardiovascular disease, please do not take any medication that's not prescribed by your primary healthcare provider or their specialist.
I love that. I love that. And I love that they ask questions. That's how you all know you're doing your jobs right. Now, Shona, I have to start with you with this question, and then you, Ariel. Credibility. How do they know Shona is legit? How do they know Ariel is legit? And I'm speaking loosely, right? That's not really legit. I mean, come on. But how do we know? How do you check before you go to a doctor that they're credible, that they have nothing on their record? I'm sorry, the doctor's dancing on TikTok. That's not credibility to me that they're a good doctor. I know that's the thing and popular, and I'm not being funny with that. People, it's time to think about things. We've got to do some research. You don't want to put your health in anyone's hands. Shona, and then you, Ariel, how do people know a doctor, nurse practitioner, a company is reputable?
Absolutely. It's a great question. And I always encourage patients to do their research before they take the advice or start putting things into their body that was recommended to them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So the Board of Nursing, each state has it's public information. So if you can go, and it doesn't cost. So they can go to the Board of Nursing, Texas Board of Nursing, or whichever state that nurse or healthcare provider is from, and they can look it up. And they also could do different types of background checks to see if that person has ever been charged with a sexual assault crime or abuse on elderly. So there's state, local, and federal platforms that will allow you to do that, just as if doing it as a complaint from a hospital organization, right? They have the report cards for hospitals and physicians. There's also those reporting agencies that do the same thing for nurses and doctors. So the medical board for the physicians, obviously, whatever state medical board is in that, whatever board that physician belongs to. And most of us do have different license state compact laws and all of that, but you can still find out online and it's free.
Correct. It's very easy. Yes. Texas Board of Nursing for us as nurses, nurse practitioners. They have the medical board online. Google that for physician assistants or physicians. And it also shows any type of disciplinary actions that were taken. Even if you were never charged with anything, it shows all of that. It shows all the states that you were licensed to serve in. It shows your license number. This is all free information. It shows your NPI number, which is a national provider identification number. That's very important. That anyone who's prescribing or as a nurse or nurse practitioner, PA, MD, they should have an NPI.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they're asking, what is that? It's time to get out the office.
So no. And also, lastly, you should be able to. I should be able to show you my credentials, my cards. I have my degrees here. I have my licenses here. All these things, and that should be always up to date as well. What providers say? You can always Google a provider and look at their reviews, see where they've been. And I always encourage people when they're trying to find a provider, go through your insurance company, ask them, for the first 3 or 4 that's in your zip code. If you prefer, people don't know this, but if you prefer a certain race, you can ask for a certain provider race and they will give you that. They can email it to you. And then I encourage you, after you get that provider you want, Google them. Look at their reviews. Look at what patients are saying about them. Look at their experience. That's important. That's very important to do and to know to be trusted and to have your provider be trusted by you as well.
Absolutely. Shona, I want to start with you with this question. I just love how God is giving me these second opinions. A doctor tells me you need surgery. You just take that, or should you go get a second, third opinion?
I love an educated patient, a well-educated patient with credible resources.
Yeah.
Not because my auntie had that same problem and now my auntie did this, so I'm going to do the same thing. But if you feel there's something, all the pieces are not there. Again, we are human.
Yeah.
We are human and we can miss things, but our job is to do the best of our ability for our patients. And if you feel something is not matching up, or they're not really hearing you out all the way, or looking at the religious standpoint, because sometimes that can get into the way and complicate things, you are absolutely within your right, patient rights, and responsibilities to go and seek a second opinion,
Yeah.
just to confirm, because surgery is nothing simple.
Mm-mm. And you know, we believe in prayer, faith.
Mm.
I'm a Christian, but God has put medicine on the earth, and spirit of discernment will say, okay, surgery is needed. You got a second opinion. Let's not wait here. Let's, you know, and to each their own, you know, but prayer, because I think Steve Jobs, and I don't want to misspeak, you know, you have people who don't believe in medication, they're going to do this and that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but getting a second opinion is absolutely, because there are people, and I'm sure you guys, have you guys ever had a patient, they came to you with medication? Let's start with you, Ariel, and then you, Shona, and you're like, oh, this really wasn't right. Have you ever had a patient who they were misdiagnosed, or maybe the healthcare provider they saw made, you know, it's just something wasn't right?
Correct, definitely, especially with my, almost 20 years of experience. And this
Yeah.
is National Minority Health Month. I've
Yes.
seen a lot of African American patients and Hispanic patients become, over medicated with blood
Wow.
pressure medications, to where you're wondering why they're dizzy all the time, they're passing out, blood pressure is low, they're on 5 or 6 different blood pressure medications. And I'm like, what is this? Who prescribed this for you? And a lot of the times is the patient not knowing how to properly take the medication, not bringing their medications in to say, hey, I'm taking this already.
Yeah.
And the provider not knowing and just adding more and more medication onto the patient, especially when you see more than one specialist. If you're seeing a
Yes.
cardiologist, you're seeing a primary health care provider, you're seeing a nephrologist maybe, or kidney specialist. A lot of places, if they're not in the same facility, the same unit, under the same umbrella, they're not communicating with each other.
That's a good
So
point.
you could be overly prescribed medication. So always take your medications in to your primary health care provider and all your specialists you take and say, hey, this is what I'm taking. Which medications do I absolutely need to live? And which one should I be weaned off on? And I also want to talk about in the case of the second opinion,
Yeah.
in my experience, African Americans are least likely to get that second opinion than their white counterparts. They get the second opinions, and maybe even sometimes the third opinion. A lot
Yeah.
of times we feel as African Americans that we can't speak up for ourselves or ask another question, or how dare I ask a question? You have a right as a patient to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
So get
I
that second opinion if you need it.
yeah. You, Shona?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And that goes back again, those traditional norms that we've all almost kind of embodied that and taught that to our kids about not asking them. Who Henrietta Lacks was a perfect example.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that story.
Like a second opinion would have been appropriate in that case. But he was the doctor, and I'm going to do with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that history, and I see it being from the South. It's unfortunate that our families have continued that, and with this National Minority Health Month, we have to change the narrative. We
Yeah.
have to talk about these things and say, hey, look, it's normal to get your prostate checked, because
Yes.
every male in your family has had colon cancer or some type of prostate cancer. It's normal. We need to normalize that. So getting that second opinion, if you don't believe, because sometimes they don't feel like they're entitled, or it's going to cost too much. It
Yeah.
is a cost of, associated with that. So I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. Do your research, credible research, and ask questions. It's never okay to just be quiet and be afraid. And I always love advocating for my patients,
Yes.
Oh yes.
especially at the bedside, when they come in there with the consent and say, this is going to do da 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 da, and the patient look at me like, I didn't understand it. What I said, you could speak up now. Do you have a question?
Yes.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
talk about
some doctors and medical professionals, they don't have bedside manner. They're not personable. They're rude. They're, you know. I mean, I've been blessed to have really nice, you know, and then, I mean, I'm going to come in and just be friendly. So you have to be nice to me. I mean, I'm going to ask questions too. But some doctors just don't have good bedside manner. They're just not. But talk about some doctors, that's just how they are. If you have a surgeon who's just not nice, you got to deal with it. They know what they're doing. They're good. Don't let that keep you
Correct.
from, yeah.
I agree. I think so. The common denominator of one, we're all human, right?
Yeah, we're all human. They're human.
what race or what culture I come from, there is a this bias that,
Yeah.
like Provider Lee said, African Americans getting loaded with blood pressure medicine just because research from 30, 40 years ago said that that's what's supposed to happen.
Or
But
even
we
like,
ourselves on it.
yes. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, provider Shona, I want to, even the latest research being African Americans being underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed for depression or anxiety or
Wow.
PTSD.
What
Now,
are they diagnosing us with? What is it? What are they diagnosing us with, Ariel?
higher rates of schizophrenia, especially
Oh,
for African
wow.
American males. Yes. And behavior disorders. How many little black boys with supposedly ADHD or behavior or autism at a higher rate than our white counterparts? We got to ask questions as parents. People don't ask questions. Question these people who are diagnosing our children too early.
Because, and we've seen that in the school system. They're saying my son is a problem. They're saying, and then he's labeled for the rest of his life.
Correct.
And you
mislabeled.
Mislabeled. Excuse me. Thank you for that. Thank you for the correction. And for all these years, you think he's autistic and he's not autistic. Or you think something. I mean, my goodness, ask questions. Ask questions. We don't do that. But I like that you all are educating on that. And I think each patient you touch, we're more open to asking questions. Because I could see at the event, the health event, Shona, just people were flocking to you all. You all were so nice, and they're open to that. So that every place you all touch, you are truly, I think, making a difference. Now we got to talk about stress.
Yes.
How does stress affect our bodies? You, Ariel, Shona, okay. I don't care, either one.
Okay, I'll start it off. So first of all, stress is not a bad thing.
Okay.
There are different types of stress. You have the stress that you need, like, okay, I'm preparing for this interview, so this radio interview.
Yeah.
I got to be on my game. I got to make sure I review these questions, review my facts, all that stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
However, when it's overboard to where you're continuously worrying, you're stressed, you're having issues with your digestive system, your cortisol levels increase, you have headaches, your blood constricts to where you have hypertension, your glucose levels are elevated, it affects your circulation. That's not a good stress.
Yeah.
That's not good stress.
Yeah.
The leading cause of death in the U.S. is cardiovascular disease and stroke. And African Americans are 5 times higher to die of these things than white or non-Hispanic white counterparts.
Why is that?
Stress related to systemic racism.
Okay.
Socioeconomic factors such as finances, where they're living, job stressors, family stressors. Unfortunately, injustice in the medical system to where they feel like they're not going, lack of access to care.
Yeah.
Hypertension, diabetes that's undiagnosed or untreated correctly. So all of these things lead to heart attack, stroke, early deaths, all of these different things. So stress literally will kill you. It causes depression, anxiety, all of that.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
That's good.
From biological and physiological standpoint, the stress affects the body overall, and there's external and internal factors that contribute to that, like she was saying.
Yeah.
The socioeconomic issues that a lot of minorities are placed in already put them at a higher risk of having stress, period. Even if they were at the optimum health all the way, I mean, blood cholesterol's fine, everything's fine. Eventually, if they keep operating at those high levels of cortisol and stress levels, that flight or fight, and they just stay up there in the fight zone, it's not okay. It's not normal. It's not. And so I really believe that's what part of holistic nursing. That's part of it, because you can't address one without the other, because the stressor is still there.
Yeah.
So all the blood pressure medicine I want at you. And if you're not eating the right things, or if you still have this very high stressful job, or you're taking care of your mama, your sister, your cousins, and everybody else, the stressor is still there, the blood pressure medicine is not going to work.
That's good. A pill is not, sometimes you need to take a break. And I like what you all talked about, healthy boundaries. You're going to have to cut it off. I'm learning to let things go, not to be a perfectionist. That can cause stress.
Trying to help people, even family members. Although Shona and I, we're providers, we have our own businesses, we still have family members, friends, loved ones who depend on us as well. So you have to even cut boundaries with friendships, relationships. You have to like, you know what? And for me personally, one thing that I do that really helps me for years, like for Sundays, I do no social media.
Oh, that's good.
I don't open up an app. And on after 9 o'clock at night, my phone is on do not disturb until 8 a.m.
That's good. That's good.
I'm gonna implement that.
When I tell you the peace of mind, I had people calling me at midnight about health questions and this happened. And I got to the point where you say that was stressing me out before bedtime. I'm like, you know what? If I can't help you, please try Jesus because I'm going to sleep. I am.
You have to.
I have to in order to like self-care. If I got to be the best for myself, my family, my patients, my people I partner with, I got to get some rest.
Yeah, rest. Okay, let's talk about it.
I gotta get some rest.
Because let me tell y'all what I started having to do. And somebody's laughing. Whoever's laughing, it's true. Okay. And if you have a health question for these sisters, please ask it. Okay. This is the thing, you guys, and I'm serious. This is what God had to, if I don't post on social media and I have so much going on, God is like, do you think I'm not going to bless you if you don't post on Instagram today? Now let's talk about sleep. The Dr. Don sometimes functions 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm not the only one. We work. Talk about proper rest, you guys. Because I know you hear it. I can't go to sleep. I run a business. I'm up till 3 a.m. and then I have to get up at 7. Talk about rest. You, Shona, and then you, Ariel. We got to get rest.
Yes, I was a victim of not following my own advice. I'm gonna tell you, because again, Dr. Dawn, we try to do everything and be everything for everybody, and you forget self. So I was running on all ends, being an entrepreneur, working, trying to run my business in grad school, and I can say this: I never get sick.
Yeah.
That's what.
That's it.
I said, oh, it's just allergies.
Yeah.
They're taking some water and vitamins. No, it kept going on. And I was like, okay, you almost have pneumonia now. Because sleep. So he said, okay, you think you can keep going? I'm going to stop you. Go lay down and sleep for 2 days and don't move.
Yeah.
And that's what it took. And I literally had to like slap myself. Like, why am I not listening to my own advice?
Because it's hard to listen to. Come on.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm a firm believer of educating people. Say, please just rest, just sleep, stop. The
Turn
world
it off.
If you don't post 2 more videos, it won't end.
Or tell them you just can't. I'm not able to do that right now.
It does not fit in my schedule.
I can't. I'm just not available. Let me refer you to someone because I have worked, y'all. Sometimes I'm working, and as I'm going to sleep, I hear my neighbors leaving for the day, and I'm just laying down.
Oh wow.
I'm work. Sometimes but that's my choice, right? I gotta get rest because I can feel it affect me, you guys, when I don't get sleep. So that's something, and I wanted you to talk about rest because many people struggle with that, going to sleep. Ariel, talk about how we've got to get rest.
We have to get to rest. We have to rest in order to restore our bodies. That's how we're able to think clearer. Our digestive system is able to work. Our immune system works a lot better. We need adults, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night.
Okay.
So it's not a lie, 6 to 8.
6 to 8 hours according to the CDC. We need 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
It's good to try to have a cutoff time. So try to go to sleep at the same time each night. For me, I go to bed at 10. I'm usually up around 5.
Okay. That's good. And then she takes her nature walks. Routine.
In the morning.
Routine.
There's some things that help if you're having issues with sleep, Dr. Don, and anyone else who's listening. Like they have the candles, your bubble baths. They have the melatonin sprays you can put on your pillows.
Yeah.
With the lavender. Anything, cut that TV off, turn that phone off. All of that stuff. You need to relax, get in a good place. If you need to have things to do for the next day, write those little notes down, close it up, say a prayer, and say, Lord, give me some rest.
That's right. Because when the text messages, I will wake up in the morning and I'm like, it's starting. Before you even get up, you'll see y'all, we've got to turn it off. Turn the phone off. Put do not disturb on the text message. Or put the phone in another. Y'all, sleep is something we have to get.
It's very important. It's very important.
We have to get
Otherwise,
sleep.
you get irritated and groggy, and you snapping at people, and your immune system, like provider Shona just mentioned, gets low. Like you need your rest. You know, we're not robots. We're human. We got to get rest. And God gonna still bless you.
That's right. I can't be mad. I'm mad. Like, and have you ever, and I know when I didn't get enough sleep, before I even check the text message, I'm like, what is it? I didn't even look. It could be my mama. Have a good day. Oh, mama, look, you know what I mean? But it's that much. But if you don't get sleep, it will change your mood. So that's why yeah.
And then let me mention this before we go on, because I'm learning to do this in the past couple of months here. It's okay that when we receive a text message or email notification to not answer that right away.
Yeah.
I was reading something years ago by Maria Swiver, and she said, the power of pause. Like, do I really need to answer this text right away?
Yeah.
Is it an emergency?
Yeah.
Is this email an emergency?
Yeah.
Can this wait till later?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
And literally shutting your brain off to not go down that path and continue the cycle. And then it's another 2-3 hours before you went to sleep.
Yeah. And there's some people I can't answer the phone immediately because I already know it's going to be some foolishness, right? So I need a break, and I got to pray, and I got to, okay, then I come back. Or some, you know, you have to do that. Sleep. I like that. Ariel has to be in bed at 10. Shona, what time do you go to bed?
I do about 11.
Okay. Sometimes I'm midnight or after that, but I got to get better. But I'm admitting it. At least I'm not on here pretending. Right. We have to have honest conversations.
I want you to know that I love you, because usually around this time, I'm writing my kids down. My husband, thank God, he's taking care of it now. 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay.
Hey, don't worry.
Love you. I love you.
We're only going to be on here a few more minutes. We're about to wrap this up. But see, minority health, the Dr. Don, I have to go. Nothing wrong with that. We can't be here 10. I got segments and other things to do too. But thank you for that, Ariel. We got to be honest.
Balance. Just more. You're awesome. You're awesome, sister. Just more balance, I would say, is for your sleep.
Balance. Yeah. You're right. I need it, guys. I'm telling y'all. Now, ladies, as we wrap this up, because Ariel's husband, I see him in the background saying, come get these kids. No,
you're so funny.
They're good kids, and he's a good husband. Now, ladies, we talked about stress. Now, I want to start with you, Shona, as we wrap this up. This beautiful segment. You all gave so much great information, I'm telling you. I want you to talk about how you're giving back to the community, how your business, how your health, your calling is also giving back to the community. Do you all do scholarships? Do you all, because Ariel, I know you do scholarships. Mm-hmm. What do you all do in the community? Start with you, Shona, and then you, Ariel.
Yes, absolutely. I'm really a big advocate for community outreach and awareness, and really getting to those minority groups and letting them know that we need to change the narrative and give them options and education about their health. Yeah. We're not at the point as a business yet to be able to offer scholarships, but we do want to partner with some of the educational systems like the community colleges that have LVNs and BSNs to offer internship in education hours and experiences, so they can see what it is that they're really getting themselves into.
Yeah.
To know that this has to be a calling for you, and it's not just about a job.
Yeah.
So about offering certain healthcare services to our veteran community.
Oh, yes.
As far as those, diabetic screenings, those health screenings, and getting them the resources they need. The Hispanic community doing the breast cancer checks and getting them the resources as well. So I like to be an advocate for all those patients. It's something that I cannot do for them.
Oh, yes.
I can reach out and ask, do you have resources for this patient? They really need help. No, they don't have any insurance, but these are the things that they need, and could you help us out?
And I like that. You have to pick up the phone, because Shona can get it done. And I believe that as you all, the reputation you all have been doing this for almost 20 years, somebody who can help somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love that. And hey, everybody's giving how they can. So I love that. Ariel, how are you all giving back to the community?
Yeah, you kind of touched on it earlier. So this is the third year of the Optimized Health Lead Family Scholarship, which is a STEM program. It's about high school seniors who are graduating in good position, who are majoring in STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And so we're giving away 2 $1,000 scholarships, and we have some recipients coming up here in May. So we're excited to get that out. Good. Another thing that we do is every fall we provide free health screenings and sports physicals for youth at school, at different high schools. We randomly pick, and we partner with the athletics department and do the full physical. As you know, Damar Hamlin, just the NFL player who had a heart attack on the field.
Yes.
So, and we also partner with other organizations to give EKGs at the time of physical exam. So this is every year we do that. Wow. And one other thing that we did today that I forgot to add. So last night, my husband and my children were up all night partnering with CHIP. So CHIP is an organization through Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, my chapter, aka Omega, where we give every week, we give 65 children bag lunches at Bruce Elementary here in Houston. Wonderful. And just provide lunches like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks for them over the weekend. Now, family, some kids don't eat on the weekend.
Isn't that sad?
When they're at school. Oh, and so we packed about 65 bags. My daughter's so awesome. She's 11. She packed most of it for me last night.
That's great.
On my way through my business schedule today, I dropped them off at the school with some sorority sisters. So I am all about giving back. I also mentored new nurses.
Oh, yes.
Nurses. I'm a preceptor, certified preceptor, and I give back in that way. And also for nurse practitioners, and I'm a consultant for entrepreneurs. Yeah. So however I can give back sincerely some people don't want to give information. I'm not that. I'm an open book. Like, look, how somebody help me. So I'm here to help you.
You don't want to help. How about it could save someone's life? But
correct.
That's another topic for another time. We've got to anyway. So as we end this segment, brothers and sisters, Shona, I want you give us your contact information, but also give us your charge as a community, minorities, for National Minority Health Month. And then you, Ariel, do the same.
Yes. So we can be reached. We're on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. You can also go to our parent company page. It's www.jdlventuresllc.com. And there you'll find the 2 service lines that we offer, which is concierge nursing and vitamin infusion. ivbaby.com, where we do vitamin infusion, and we also help people with medical weight loss, those who qualify and could benefit from the services. And we also have, I said, our concierge nursing side, where we take care of patients from all comorbidities, whether they've had elective surgery or they're dealing with cancer. We go to them and we care for those patients and become patient advocates for them. So we can be reached also on LinkedIn at jdlventures.com. And thank you so much. And my charge for everyone, National Minority Health Month, is please, let's change the narrative. Let's increase our generations with wealth and better health.
Yes. Love it. You, Ariel?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Dawn, for having me. Thank you.
This is good. This is good information.
My beautiful sister, Shona, here. I'm so proud of you for your services that you provide as well. So I can be reached at www.optimizehealth.org. That's our Optimize Health LLC website. If you need to schedule a consultation, you can book us for an event. We are proud to serve any type of health fair events. We service primarily youth facilities, any type of foster care homes, independent living facilities. We keep your doors open. We train the staff members about medication management, patient management, utilization. I'm a consultant and also help new business startups, primarily Black businesses, to start up in healthcare. So I'm here for you. DOT certified for truck drivers, all that fun stuff. So I'm here for you. My charge for each and every one of us would be, like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So let's start eating healthy. Let's work with where we are. If you can't, go outside and walk, let's do some fitness exercise in the chair. Let's try to cut back on those processed foods. Let's pray. Let's meditate. Let's have a balance. And let's be the change that we want to see in the world for the generations to come.
Yes. And I am going to get some sleep tonight. You will. I am, right?
Yes. Don't forget the CBD oil. You need that.
Hey, something. Yeah. But how about I lay down and I turn the phone off and I make a choice? Everything is a choice.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything is a choice, because we got to take care of our temples and we have to get rest. Ladies, I told y'all Shonda Rhimes had gray anatomy, but we have Lee and Baylor. I tell you, with their white coats, and you can check the credentials, honey. You ain't gonna see no skeletons in the record. They have a legacy they are leaving. Sisters, I want to say God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing, and look, don't you tell them you saw them on the Dr. Don show and you need a prescription for Don't use my name for your janky little situation. God bless you, ladies. And Shona, you wrong for not going to that dinner. Tracy, you done RSVP people. We'll talk about that later. God bless you, girls. Y'all stay in touch. Y'all can be partnering as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
God bless you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.